I just got done watching the new The Strangers Chapter 3, the final film in the trilogy. And let me tell you, I wanted to rip my hair out the entire time. Now, the original The Strangers is one of the most scariest films to me, in my opinion. Anything to deal with a home invasion terrifies me. The Strangers Pray at Night. I enjoyed it. I really liked the scene at the pool. Now, when they were introducing a new The Strangers 3-part film, I was very intrigued, but I wasn't running to the movie theaters to see it, and I didn't. This is the only one I went to the movie theaters to see. The first one, I didn't mind. Yes, it was a little bit repetitive of the original, but this has nothing to do with those films. Now, chapter 1, home invasion. You're in a town in an Airbnb. People in mask tries to kill you. They end up killing your fiance. Before I go further, I just want to say I will put this in the title, but there will be spoilers in this video. If you are new here, my name is Connie and I like to yap about movies on YouTube. If that interests you, please hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss any of my content. And if you don't, that's okay too. Beyonce ends up dead, and then it goes into chapter 2. Chapter 2 is pretty much one giant chase scene, which I don't mind. Out of all three so far, I liked the second one the best. But when I was leaving the movie theater for this one, a bunch of people behind me were like, oh, this is the best one out of the three. I like this one. And then someone's like, it can't beat the original. We were all like, yeah, that's true. Chapter 2, it seemed like Maya, the main character, she had willpower. She wanted to survive. Where the second one ended is Maya killed one of the masked girls. So we're just going to go into the positives first. Now, this third one is being described as the darkest and most brutal installment yet. And I will say it is the brutal one out of the three, because right off the bat, we do get a interesting kill scene that I've never seen done before. So Maya is hiding in the trees. One of the masked ladies is dead. She's watching what we assume is the lady's boyfriend, the man in the mask. He comes up, he's sad, he's holding her, and then he takes his axe and axes her more. Like she's already dead, and he proceeds to chop her up a little bit more. And that was crazy. It was something. Just makes you think that these people, even though what they've done so far is awful and terrible, this just puts the cherry on top that they are cuckoo for bananas. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It had me intrigued, like I wanted to finish it, but slowly the movie just, for me, and I'm so happy if you liked this movie, but the whole time I was dreading continuing this movie because Maya has no survival instincts at all. Time and time again, I'm just like, girl, why are you doing this? When she walks away from the crash scene, she goes into the woods and finds a church with candles lit in. Like, get away from this town. Go. But no, she's taking some pit stops at a church. In comes Gregory, and they just have a conversation. But this conversation is very interesting because he pretty much tells her that he is the mass killer and she knows it. And he gives a little insight into why he's doing this. It was just a very odd scene. You're across the man that killed your fiance and you're having a nonchalant conversation. It was a little bit wild to me. And then proceeds to tell her that they're even now. He killed her fiance and she killed his girl. He told her to skedaddle. Like, this is your only chance. Your only chance. Goodbye. So she walks out of the church, and then she gets caught by the cop who ends up being Gregory's dad. And this cop was in Barbarian, and he's scared me ever since that movie. Like, this actor is so chilling. They're in the car. She's talking to him. She's picking up on vibes that he's a creepy, he has bad intentions. And I will say is good at picking up on people's energy. Like, she's good at picking up on who's bad and who's good sometimes. She tricks him to go out of the car and get the first aid kit, and she takes the car and she drives it. But she, I don't know, doesn't pay attention, looking for something in the passenger seat, not focused on getting the hell out of there. The bad guys are in the truck. She runs into a tree and she gets taken hostage. We do get another flashback scene confirming that Gregory's dad is the sheriff in town, and how they got off easy for them killing Tamara, the little girl, in the second one. So they pretty much get to live happily ever after. These young kids who need psychological help and shouldn't be able to just roam freely. It's kind of disgusting. But the dad knows that his son is a monster, and he makes a deal with him saying, hey, I don't care who you kill, just don't kill any of the locals. You can kill visitors, but locals are a no-go. And it's so unrealistic to me. I know it's just a movie, but damn. Everybody in that town knows, pretty much, and they're not allowed to talk about it? You're telling me that those people would do that? They're so scared. Well, they might be. I would be super scared. But get the heck out of there. I know some people, they can't financially, but honestly, get the heck out of there. But honestly, it just irks me that she just gave up so easily in this film. Because after he takes her hostage, he makes her, along with the other lady in the mask, kill a couple at a hotel. This hotel is introduced into the storyline this movie. It wasn't in the other two. All the girls look alike in this movie. But the girl who was in the relationship with the guy in the mask, Gregory, she worked at this hotel. The first scene in the movie is a kill scene from a visitor of the hotel. And then we see another flashback scene where they are teenagers and they find their third, they're like a throuple, how they meet the girl in their group. And this scene was a little bit predictable. They go after this couple who, honestly, the guy that they were trying to kill, he was an asshole predator. And then they open the door, and the girlfriend already killed her boyfriend because she knew that he was a piece of shit. So that's how the third girl was introduced, and they are a group killing people. It's because she already liked killing. So, two people in the mask, the bad people, who already are not scary to me anymore. I feel like this movie was a lot of behind the scenes, and to me, that's less scary. Now, I hate to bring it back to the original. It was scary because we barely saw them. And when we did see them, it was terrifying. This one, we see a lot of them behind the scenes. I didn't like it. So they're in this hotel room. He's got the mask on Maya, and we know he wants her to be involved in the killing, and she wants no part of it, obviously. But after Gregory kills the man, Maya kills the other girl in the mask, and we're finally like, yes, girl, finally! You want to live. You're gonna kill both of these people who have kidnapped you, who have tortured you. They've killed your fiance. Finally. And you know what she does? She just sits there after she kills the other girl in the mask. And then Gregory comes over, and she seems defeated. Like, what she just did was so hard, which I know it probably killing no matter what, hard. And then Gregory takes her to the woman that is tied up and forces her to kill her. You could have just taken the knife and killed Gregory, but no, you go along, you're empty inside, and you kill this innocent woman who was in your shoes. This scene pissed me off. So then the movie continues, and we are introduced to new characters. We finally see Maya's sister and her husband come to town, and again, no one's helping them try to figure out where Maya is, and they bring along their bodyguard, security guard. These characters are very not interesting. I guess this whole review is going to be just negatives and what this movie could have been instead of what it was. And what it was not taking it there. It was going a route where it didn't fit or make sense. It felt like this one was just grabbing at the straws and putting stuff together. A whole lot of flashback scenes, having us try to figure out why the killers were killing. And we got a glimpse of that in the second one because they were kids. And this one, we get to see kind of their journey up until this point. Maya's sister's bodyguard, the man who came to help them find Maya, there was a scene where he discovered the meat grinder where the sheriff and Gregory would take the bodies and, you know, he discovers it, but it's already on. So I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a really interesting kill scene. And I'm not seeking out innovated kill scenes, but when he opened the door and the meat grinder was already up, and this thing is huge, like, okay, they're just going to push him in the meat grinder. But no, the sheriff just shoots him. The sister and her husband find this abandoned trailer, which is kind of just a trap, and it worked. They went into the trailer. The bodyguard told them they'll be safe there while he goes and looks for Maya, the sheriff, but obviously that ended in his demise. And then Gregory and Maya, Daddy already called Gregory and told him, hey, there's these two people at the trailer. Take care of them. That's when Gregory shows up and, you know, terrorizes them, ends up killing them. And Maya realizes that her sister is in front of her outside of the car, and Gregory kills her in front of her. So now Maya has seen her fiance die and her sister die. So I can see how that would destroy her, but she doesn't really show it. Yes, there's a few tears. When Maya was in the truck and Gregory left the truck to go terrorize these two people who she didn't know, who she thought she didn't know, she thought it was just some random people. She seemed to look like she didn't care. She's just sitting there, defeated. She could have ran away, took the truck, but no, she only cared until she realized it was her sister. Like, girl, you were just in this position. No empathy, no survival, no will. You're this defeated right now. And I get it. She's been on fumes for days, terrorized, stabbed, walking in the woods, barely drank, barely eaten. And I'm not trying to victim blame here, but you could have been out of this situation a long time ago. And now you're just letting him terrorize you more? I'm just talking about this storyline. Again, this is just a movie. There was rude people in the movie theater. I missed a glimpse of what happened, but then Maya ends up in the truck with her sister and she's going to leave town. And does she? No, she turns back around. She goes back into where Gregory and his dad hide out in this underground tunnel dungeon looking thing where they kept her hostage and the first lady that went to the hotel. She ends up killing the dad, shoots him, and then she goes into the back where candles are lit, pictures are everywhere. She's looking at all these pictures. And then Gregory appears behind her in the mask. This whole time he's wearing the mask, except for when he was in the church talking to her. And at this point, the mask isn't scary to me anymore because I've seen so much of him behind the scenes preparing to go hunt, go kill. So now they really humanized him in this role. And although that can be scary, humanizing a killer, the boogeyman, a man in the mask. I just was annoyed at this point. And then she's just talking to him. He takes off the mask and they're just talking. Some vibes went on. Some vibes went on. And I was so confused. I was like, if they take this movie here, I'm already mad. Then I'm gonna be angry. She pretty much tells him she's empty now. You've taken everything away from me and you're the only one here now. So then he seems confused. His girl just died. It was a little pathetic. He was falling for her and she's falling for him. and they're rubbing up on each other, and I was not having it. And this scene went on a little bit longer than what I would have liked. And I was like, we're not about to have a certain scene go on right now, because that would be wild. But luckily, it didn't because she ends up killing Gregory. She takes the knife and stabs him in the stomach. And before he dies, she tells him, "You're just like me now." Was that his goal? Before she did kill him, when they're talking, he told her, "You're the only one to have survived." And he had plenty of opportunity to kill her this whole time, and he didn't. He took her on this journey of hunting. He put the mask on her a few times. I think he liked her. He wanted her to join him, and I think he liked that took it a little bit too far for her. She didn't want to do those things, but the killer, the predator in her, he literally beat her down. He didn't think she was capable of that. And I think that, I hate to say this, turned him on a little bit. Why he did it with his girlfriend was that they got off on it. That's just my interpretation. And to me, that's just obviously gross. And to bring it back to the original, what was scary was that the motive was nothing. You were just here. And they made it seem like that was the motive in these three. But to me, the way they acted after each kill was in a sexual way, making me believe that the motive was for that gratification and not just because they wanted to watch people die. I could see why they wanted to do a three-part movie for this series, this trilogy, this storyline. However, it wasn't my jam, and I had a hard time liking it for what it was than what it could have been, and I guess that's my bad. But because there was already The Strangers 2008, it was hard for me to get into these films. I will definitely rewatch because I've only seen the first one once, I've only seen the second one once, and I just saw the third one not too long, literally today, like 30 minutes ago. So I definitely do want to rewatch them and try to get into them, and maybe I'll pick up on things I didn't notice, but just watching it the one time, this one was just so hard to watch. And maybe it was meant to piss us off, to take us on this journey that was just, I don't know, it wasn't good. And at the ending, she just walks away carrying his mask. Do they want us to think she's gonna go out killing people now? I don't think she would do that. It made me sad that she was so defeated in this, and I shouldn't blame her for that. She's been on a crazy ride that she was a victim to, but this one felt like she gave in to them, but she ended up killing them in the end. So, if I had to give a positive, it would be that the jump scares were jump scaring. I do like the color grading of the movies. I know that's weird, but I do like the atmosphere and the setting of the film. It gives that eerie vibe. I do like Maya's character, although she makes me want to pull my hair out. I'm still rooting for her. I still want her to make it out alive and kick ass, and she accomplished both. I feel the same way about Halloween Ends. I always said, if they made a movie about Corey without Michael Myers, maybe a different killer, I would have loved that movie. But because it was tied to Michael Myers and it being the final film, it was just hard for me to like. But I liked Corey's character. I feel that way about this trilogy. If it had been about another home invasion, I think it would have been better. But that's just me nitpicking. But the stranger's mask, the mask they wear, are terrifying. I will always find them scary, but in this one, I was sick of seeing them. They weren't scary to me anymore. Although, I will say, Gregory and his mask, he's a big boy, and I'm little. I'm like 5'0", 60 inches, baby. He could push me and I die. He will always terrify me. I'm sorry if this felt like a rant. Probably because I literally just got done watching it, so I didn't have time to write down my thoughts or maybe think about it more. So if it seems a little chaotic, I do apologize. But yeah, that is my rant review of the new The Strangers Chapter 3. This whole movie just irked me. And I will watch it again and maybe I will have different opinions. And if I do, I will make another video explaining about all the things I found to have liked. Anyways, that is going to be it from me today. Let me know if you guys enjoyed The Strangers Chapter 3 if you like The Strangers Chapter the trilogy. Let me know why you like it. But yeah, that is going to be it from me today. As always, please stay safe out there. And I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.